What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2023 Ford F-150 Raptor. This specific Raptor has the 37 performance package added to it. Huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this truck for me today. Definitely take a look at their website. That link is down in the description. They have a huge selection of new and pre-owned inventory to take a look at. But this Raptor is finished off in white. MSRP is going to be closer to $90,000. They start right around $78,000, but that 37 performance package is just over $5 grand alone. This is also powered by the 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 paired to the 10-speed automatic transmission, pumping out 450 horsepower, 510 pound-feet of torque. That power is primarily sent to the rear wheels. However, the Raptor has the four-wheel drive system. This weighs in right around 5,700 pounds. 0 to 60 is going to be close to 5 seconds. It has a top speed of 114 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 36 gallons. You'll expect to see around 14 miles per gallon in the city, 16 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 145 inches. Its overall length is 232.6. It has a width of 86.8, a height of 79.8, and its ground clearance measures in at 12 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for the Ford Raptor, let's start off with the biggest distinction between a regular Ford F-150. That is the Ford logo spelled out in massive letters for that grille. That's the biggest distinction, but I think it looks very nice. There's also the 3 amber lights that just lit up in that upper section, matches with the rest of the amber lights that are also in those fender flares too. Where this does have LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals, the Raptor logo is also in the lower section of the headlight housings, but this also has a forward-facing camera, perfect for the size of this truck with better visibility. Plenty of cutouts both in that upper section and in the lower section, where this does have a steel front bumper along with all the parking sensors. This has the rigid LED fog lights that are mounted down below. There's also tow hooks and skid plates up underneath. Now, a part of that 37 performance package gives you the graphics that are on the hood, as well as the bed size too. Raptor is also in the middle of that hood scoop there. And then as we work our way to the side, another part of that package is upgrading to the 37-inch tires. These are 12.5 inches wide with a 17-inch beadlock ready wheel. We do have some upgrades to that Fox-tuned suspension as well. And then back to the fender flares that are finished off in plastic. This also has the steel steps that you can use to enter and exit, of course, and then you could use these maybe as a slider just for some added protection, but it is mainly just a step to get in and out. Now, this has the body colored side mirrors with the turn signal and the camera. There's also a full moonroof up top, and for this model, the configuration is the quad cab with the shorter bed. And then you'll notice more of that graphic on the bed size too, with the massive 37 and then Raptor just above that. And then as we work our way to the back, everything else is just what you would expect to see on the Raptor, with the Ford logo running across the tailgate, that dark trim accent just behind it, all of the badges, and then the addition of 37 over on that passenger side. Now, this still has a backup camera, steel rear bumper with all the parking sensors. There's a tow hook on both sides. Even a full-size spare is mounted up underneath. And then this has the dual exhaust, which we can take a listen to. So we will lock it, double tap on that button, and it will fire right up. There are a few different exhaust notes that we will go over later in this video. Unlock, and then the button underneath that you can double tap to deploy the tailgate. Or you can use the electronic button up underneath, and that will slowly open up. Now, this model here has the spray-in bed liner, so that's going to give it a lot more added protection. There's also tie-down hooks. There's an outlet on the driver's side, as well as dome lights that you can activate. And then for the tailgate, there's spots where you can place items. So if you're using this as a work truck, very nice to have those indentions. There's also a tape measure. And along with that, there are actually areas where you can attach a C-clamp. So you can put wood or anything that you're cutting on this tailgate, strap it down, and then you can actually use this as a regular workbench. And then this is not new from Ford, but we have the step that you can pull out along with the handle, and then that allows you to easily get in and out of this truck, especially if you're doing that every single day. You don't have to consistently jump up. And then you do need 2 hands to do this. I just have it loose for right now, and it's a quick process to easily close up and move on with the day. Now, as we work our way to the interior, the door panel has a very nice design. There's a lot of leather along with brushed aluminum, this cool denim trim accent in the upper section. This has the Bang & Olufson sound system, lots of storage in the lower section as well as in the middle, and then even a little bit more in the top there. And then check out these leather seats with more of that denim running throughout the inserts there as well as the lower section. And then at 5'10", it's very easy to hop into this truck. We have a grab handle up top as well as that side step. But let's take a quick look at the storage that you get underneath the seats. So currently we have this portion folded all the way flat. So that gets you a nice flat surface. However, you can also pull this up and lock it into place to give you another tray along with the one in the back there, which is very helpful. It gives you a lot of interior storage, which is great for this size. Now at 5'10", I have plenty of space. There's a lot of room down below. There's storage pockets too. We have some room up top, climate vents. These are even heated rear seats, and then there's a bunch of auxiliaries that you can use as needed. And at 5'10", I have about an inch or so above my head, but it's very spacious. I could have two other people back here, and it just feels very open as it should for a full-size truck. There's cup holders with the armrest in the middle, power sliding rear glass, and I have the moonroof open at the moment just to show the amount of light. Very open feeling in the back seat, so it's a nice place to be. Now for the driver door panel, a lot more space in the lower section, and then we have the power folding side mirror adjustments, memory seating controls as well. And then Ford Performance is down on the door sill, and then Raptor is right in the middle of these leather seats. There's also a speaker located in the headrest, and then it's just as easy to enter these front seats as it was in the rear. And then the steering wheel is solid leather with the Raptor logo down below, red stripe up top. And let's fire this back up so we can go over these controls and then take a listen to the revs. And coming back to the gauge cluster, you'll notice the tach on the left side, miles per hour on the right side. There's fixed information running across the top like your fuel, engine, and oil temperature. And then you also have some more info that you can scroll through within the middle. So if we go back, we can go to our home screen basically where there's My View, which is customizable. And then you have some more info that you can go into just a little bit more, including Raptor info. So if you want to monitor and take a look at all this information, you can easily scroll through it. So I think the most amount of info is in the Raptor setting there. And then you can also look at towing and settings if you need to. And then also over on the right side of the steering wheel, there's tuning as well as your different modes for steering, suspension, and exhaust. So you have a few for steering that you can go into, and then we can jump to suspension, and then the last one with exhaust, you have 4 different settings. So just depending on how you want to drive for the day. Massive steering wheel mounted paddle shifters as well. And then on the left side, all the cruise and adaptive cruise control settings, lane keeping assist, volume, Bluetooth controls, and then you also have R. When you push on R, this is basically a customizable setting that you can have it set up the way that you would like to. So you can adjust everything that you see on that left side and just quickly have it ready to go the way that you want to drive. Now on the left side, there's spotlights under the side view mirrors. We have the tailgate release along with the power outlet in the bed, all the headlight and fog light adjustments. There's even a light on the third brake light, which is on the back of the cab, e-brake, and a pedal adjustment. So you can move those forwards or away, just depending on your comfort. Really nice dark red stripe surrounding that one air vent. And then up top, a little bit of storage with that Bang & Olufson logo. And above the infotainment system, we have the engine start stop along with a shortcut to the camera system. So if we pull that up real quick, you have a lot of angles and views that you can see. So just depending on what you're doing for the day and the visibility that you need, you can quickly get into that. There's also a shortcut for the parallel parking, so you can pull that up, hazards, traction control, and a downhill assist control. Now for the rest of the information, in the lower section, these are all presets. So you can quickly get into all of this info. We have a lot in settings that you can go into, including the trail turn assist. There's the power tailgate. You can control all of this as needed. Go into your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. There's various settings to set up too. And then with features, you get your zone lighting, your Pro power onboard, so you can adjust all of that, driver assistance and towing. And then you have the split screen, so you can go through items on that right side and still keep info on that left. Now there's an air vent on both sides. On the left side, there's the Pro trailer system. So if you've never backed up before or you need a little bit of help, you can use that as needed, along with the trailer braking. There's all the four-wheel drive controls along with the locking rear differential. And then right in the middle, power and volume for the radio as well as tuning. There are a few different settings for that screen that you can do. And then we have all the climate adjustments down below, along with the heated and ventilated seats. Defrosters and where you like the air to go, fan speeds in the middle, all laid out very well. There's some more auxiliaries on that passenger side as well as down below, and this even has the wireless charging. Now you can hide all of that away with that nice matte finish to that cover there. Two cup holders are on the right side, a little bit of storage in the middle, and then you can actually fold down the shifter when the vehicle is in park. The reason that you can do that is you can flip up the center armrest, and now you have a nice flat surface. If you're on your computer, you're working on documents, taking a break, eating lunch, you can have a nice flat surface to put all of those items, and then when you're ready to go, you can pop that back up. Now we have the backup camera with that in reverse, of course, and then there's also the manual setting. That allows you to use those paddle shifters as needed. Now, if you open this up in the opposite direction, there's a lot more space with even more auxiliaries that you can use. And this has two glove boxes. So a little bit of space up top and then even more located down below. Now up top, there's the controls for the sliding rear window. There's the dome lights, sunshade, and sunroof adjustments. Sunglass holder is just behind that. And then there's a lot of auxiliaries where you can hook up exterior lights, compressors, whatever you have. Nice factory spot to place those. And then as far as visibility goes, very easy to see over both shoulders. You have a lot of glass to look at. As we set off now behind the wheel for the F-150 Raptor, I've actually been able to drive quite a few in the last couple weeks. I was in a Velociraptor, I was in a normal Raptor, and now I am in the Raptor with these 37. So really the 37 performance package, it adds a good bit. Mainly you're getting the wheels, tires, you're getting a little bit differences to the suspension, all of the graphics, and then there's other optional equipment that you can go with, and you can do that in the normal Raptor too. So the 37s is really the wheels and tires and a few graphics, things like that. It's interesting to see though that it's just over $5 grand, which is a little bit pricey for wheels and tires and the graphic, and it seems pretty pricey for that. But if you want to buy your Raptor like this as is with the tires already there, so you don't have to spend more money if you want to upgrade them later, that's a perfect time to do it. And with this out on the road, I have everything in sport mode. And not only does it sound good, it actually took that turn very well. For being a performance-oriented truck that you really want to take off the pavement, this is something that is designed to get off the ground, to do some high-speed runs in the desert, something like that. It also drives very nicely for what I can do today. So with everything in sport mode, it tightens up that suspension and it makes it handle these turns much better for the size and the weight of this truck. And then you can also use the manual setting. So if we push on M, now we see M and the gear that we're in. These paddles are pretty responsive, but with it in second gear, here we go. It sounds so good. From the outside, I've heard these take off down the road. It sounds like it's a GTR. It has a really good note to it for that 3.5 liter V6. And I would say it's almost better sounding than the outgoing V8. The V8s have a really good sound, but when you think a GTR is taking off and it's this massive family style work performance oriented truck, it definitely makes you wonder how it is to drive, and I love it. It's got plenty of power, it's also incredibly quiet. Let's dial back everything to the normal setting, and exhaust is also in quiet too. So if we give it some gas, you can hear a little bit under the acceleration, but just normal driving, it's nice and comfortable and quiet. This is what you would expect for especially a truck of this cost, but for something that, let's face it, this is going to see pavement almost 100% of the time. You want a truck that is going to be comfortable to drive every single day as well. And I think this checks all of those boxes to make this a fun, performance-oriented style truck that you can also use for work purposes. You can daily drive it for whatever you want. And if this is going to put a smile on your face, it has everything I think that you need. And from second gear, here we go. Paddles are very responsive too, so it makes you feel like you're not in a pickup truck. I love the driver feedback that you get. You forget that you're in a 6,000 pound pickup truck. This can do it all. And then very quick on those downshifts as well. Now, one thing that I will talk about is the 10-speed automatic. It seems to drive very nicely. Let's put it back into the normal drive mode. 10 gears is a lot, but with this truck and how much it weighs, and if you're towing, I think 10 gears is plentiful, so that way you can use the correct gearing and get some better MPG possibly, but it's really going to be how it affects the truck, especially towing. But with it now, with nothing on the truck, it drives very nicely. I don't think there's too many gears. I haven't done a lot of highway driving in Raptors or with the 10-speed in general, but it doesn't feel like it gear hunts a lot because you have 10 to go through. And if it does, at least from my driving, they have been very smooth feeling. As far as the turning radius goes, let's make a quick U-ey right here. Feels pretty tight in sport mode, as it should, but that's pretty tight for this full-size truck. And in normal mode, boy, that sounds so good. It shifts as you would expect. And it's a quick truck for a mild acceleration like that. So roomy, so comfortable. I love the seating position with these bolsters. You're definitely getting your money's worth with this truck. All of the denim is even up on the dash there too. There is a little bit of plastic, but for the price, I think everything is spot on. Very nice to see that. There is also some carbon fiber accents that you can get, which is optional. This truck does not have that. I would opt for that. I think that would give it a really cool look. I'm not sure where the carbon bits would be, but there's a few other packages that you can get or take off depending on your taste, your budget, what you are willing to spend. But that is going to wrap it up for the 2023 Ford F-150 Raptor with the 37 performance package. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this truck for me today. Check out their website, give this video a huge thumbs up, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I'll see you all in the next video.